Hi, this is Attorney Yaida Ford. I am just coming back to give you part 2 on the status of the eviction moratorium in the District of Columbia and to update you on a few changes that have been made on the moratorium on foreclosures, which changed just a few days ago on October the 5th as per legislation that the DC Council passed. Okay, so as for part 2, wanted to just clarify a couple of deadlines. Just so everybody knows, the public health emergency did in fact expire on July 25th, 2021. What has been extended, however, is a public emergency, which is different than the public health emergency. And the mayor today, effective October 8th, extended the public emergency till January 7th, 2022. Okay, so that allows the government to act expeditiously and with certain parameters, expanded parameters, if you will, in regards to what happened with COVID-19. Now, I want to just jump really quick into evictions and clarify a couple of things. So part 1 of my video, I explained that the rights and responsibilities of landlords and tenants during the eviction process effective October 12th, because everybody understands October 12th to be the green light when people can file evictions. But I explained in part 1 that there are nuances to that. And so I wanted to clarify that if there was an eviction that was already scheduled prior to the beginning of the public health emergency, so prior to March 11th, 2020, if an eviction was scheduled prior to March 11th, 2020, that eviction can still go forward. So no moratorium has an impact on any evictions that were scheduled prior to March 11th, 2020. Okay, the marshals can go ahead and move forward. Effective July 24th, 2021, landlords can serve tenants with notice of unpaid rent. However, as I explained in part 1, the landlord must apply for assistance under Stay DC, okay, to do that. Now, landlords, something that I wanted people to know, if you go through that Stay DC application process, it will ask you for a basic business license number, okay, a BBL. All right, you have to get that through DCRA. So if you are a landlord, you don't have your BBL, then you may not be eligible, you will not be eligible to get relief under Stay DC, okay? So if your tenant has an application filed with Stay DC, as you know, as I explained in part 1, that definitely halts the eviction process. But if you do not have the BBL, you won't be able to do that. Now, something else, if your tenant doesn't cooperate with the Stay DC process, because both parties have to engage in that, you can use that as a potential evidence that you should be permitted to go forward with eviction. Okay, so if you've applied and your tenant hasn't responded, because they have 60 days to engage with the Stay DC process once they're notified by the government that you have applied for assistance, if they don't comply and cooperate with that, that is evidence that you can present to the court that may enable you to move forward with eviction in that case. Okay. Okay, now beginning September 26, 2021, landlords are you were able to serve notices in all types of cases, not just non-payment of rent. Okay, so other violations of a lease, noise violations, if they're extreme, a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of other tenants, you can file a notice in those cases as well. Now, by January 1st, 2022, you can file eviction actions in all cases. Okay, so September 26th, 2021, you can serve notice in all cases. By January 1st, 2022, you can begin to file eviction actions. So just to distinguish between October 12th, that is for non-payment of rent cases only, not for these other things, okay? Non-payment of rent only, October 12th, 2021, all right? And I explained that in my first video. January 1st, 2022, the landlords can file for other issues, other evictions on other bases, not just non-payment of rent, okay? So please make that distinction. Now, as far as the moratorium on residential foreclosures and on condominium foreclosures for unpaid assessments, all right, condominiums are permitted in the District of Columbia to foreclose on unit owners who have not paid their assessments. There's been a moratorium on that in addition to residential mortgage foreclosures, okay? But that moratorium technically originally was set to expire November the 5th, 2021. However, on October 5th, 2021, the council extended that. So the moratorium on foreclosures, both residential mortgage foreclosures and condominium foreclosures for unpaid assessments, is now extended until February the 4th, 2022. Okay, so the moratorium on foreclosures for residences and foreclosures for unpaid condominium assessments extended until February 4th, 2022. If this video was helpful and you want to keep up with more updates from me, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening.